What's up guys, Kati Kleber with Fresh RN, and we're going to talk about leadership goals for nurses in this video. So the first goal is becoming an effective communicator, but that's such a general way to phrase that, and it's boring and it's not specific, and everybody wants to be a better communicator. Like, let's be more specific. So being an effective communicator means that people know what you mean when you're speaking. Expectations are very clear. People feel safe asking you questions. You're not going to make things personal, and you're not going to be someone who rambles, but you're going to be someone who communicates the information that is necessary for people to make informed decisions and do their job well, and not have a lot that they're guessing about what you mean. And if they do have questions, they feel comfortable coming to you with them. Another leadership goal for nurses is good at resolving conflict. Now, this can be really challenging when you're helping people resolve conflict between each other, but as a leader, the way that you want to do that in an effective manner is you're not going to take sides. You're not going to take things personally. It's not about you being a good leader in this situation. It's about resolving what's going on, not saying, yeah, this person's right, you're wrong, you need to apologize. But ultimately, being good at conflict resolution means both of these people have concerns that they feel heard expressing and feel validated, and we have discussed possible solutions, and we all feel good about the way we're going to proceed forward in a professional way. You really focus on addressing the problem itself as an external factor, not the individual people. Like, it's almost like if you imagine a volleyball court and you've got two people on each side, and those are the people with the conflict that you're helping resolve. It's not these two people fighting each other like a boxing match. It's a volleyball match where they're each on their side, and the problem is the ball. And the ball is going from each side, okay? And we focus on resolving the problem itself, and that's external from the people who are present. Another leadership goal for nurses is being a great motivator. That means that people that are working for you are inspired into their best work, that the people around you want to do well for you and know that you're going to take care of them, you're not going to take advantage of them, you're going to be honest with them, that you're going to praise them when they earn it and hold them accountable when they need it, but not in a condescending parental way, but in a I know you can do better way. I know you've got more in you kind of way. Almost like that really good coach who gets the best out of their players. They don't do it by screaming, and they don't do it by being extremely passive. There's this middle ground where you really can get the best work out of people, and when they feel really good about it, it provides this level of personal and professional job satisfaction. And by being a good motivator, you can really get that out of people. Another leadership goal for nurses is being an accountable leader. So what that means is you're going to be humble to your team. You're going to admit when you don't know something. You're not going to try to improvise. You're going to have confident vulnerability where you're able to connect one-on-one or share vulnerable moments, but not so much that you're like open book everything. But you also have balanced that with you're comfortable in your own skin, you're confident with who you are as a person, but you can also be vulnerable at the same time. You're also not going to immediately look to place blame on others when things don't go as planned or things go poorly. Blame game or the blame focus is not a priority in your brain, and when you do have to hold people accountable, it's done in a private, respectful way where you're not going to gossip to other people and share information that's private with others. So accountable leaders, people really appreciate owning up to mistakes, even if you think that might look not so hot. The fact that you can admit when you're wrong really elevates the other things that you do, and when you do them well, because it's more authentic, right? Like if I can trust that you're going to tell me when you messed up, that means that I believe more the other things that you say. It's the same thing with our patients, right? Like if we say something to them that is dishonest, it really breaks down the trust that they have in anything else you do. But if you can be able to be comfortable saying, you know what, I'm not sure, but I'm going to find the answer, or you know what, I didn't handle that the best way, here's what I would do differently, that really builds trust and rapport with people. And if we can do that as leaders, that really increases the trust that our team has in us. My final leadership goal for nurses is being decisive. That means that you're going to make a decision, and while you know that it's not going to make everybody happy, at some point you got to make decisions, right? You can't like tiptoe around things and just hope somebody else figures it out for you. People appreciate, even if it's not the best answer, not the best situation, just having a decision made. Ambiguity and like uncertainty makes people fearful, and they would much rather just know one way or the other about something than having an indecisive leader at the helm. And also, when you make that decision, you provide not just the decision that was made, but the context surrounding it. I've seen leaders say, hey, you know what, we're changing the policy where you can't cash in your PTO anymore, or we're changing the policy for this. And there's no like, why? There's just, we're just doing this now. If you can provide the context of, hey, we had this huge budget thing happen where we have to cut certain things out, and we didn't want to lose nurses, and we didn't want to cut out this many people, so one of the ways that they decided to do this was make it so we can't cash out our PTO anymore. I know it's not the best thing you guys wanted to hear, but that's what's going on. You know, those kinds of things. People want to understand the context behind situations. That's what adults, learners, and adults need to understand context to really have buy-in. Otherwise, they feel like they're kind of being dictated to, and that really decreases satisfaction. They don't feel like they're part of this with you in this mutually beneficial business relationship. They really feel like they're being talked down to. So the more you can avoid that, the better. So to review, some leadership goals for nurses include being an effective communicator, good at resolving conflict, being a good motivator, being accountable, and being decisive. I hope you've enjoyed those, and if you have any other ideas of what are good leadership goals for nurses, would love to hear that. Don't forget to subscribe. I also have an email list and the link in the description where you can sign up, and I'll send you tips directly to your inbox every week. Thanks, nurses. Stay fresh.